Well, howdy folks, and welcome out to the claim. It's another great day, and we got the Gold Rattler out here fired up, and we're running some material through here, see if we get any gold. So let me show you what we got going today. As you know in my previous videos, I've been working this bank right here going up the wash, okay? And I've been getting some pretty good chunky gold throughout. So anyway, I dug out all this area here all the way down to the cleachy. That's what this white stuff is. Sucked it all up, and now I've got it piled over here next to the wash plant so we can run it. But what was really cool is I ran some material through the wash plant, and I got this really nice specimen piece of nugget gold, weighed 0.2 grams, and it still is attached to the magnetite and also quartz. And you can see it in the picture right here. And also I went ahead and I scanned this with my Gold Bug 2 metal detector, and I found another nugget which was a lot larger, and it weighed in at 0.5 grams, which is pretty cool. So this just tells me that this area here is still really working good. So anyhow, like I say, I got a whole pile of pay over here, probably about 3 yards or so of material. We'll run at least 1 yard through it today in the Gold Rattler and see what we get. But I'm really excited to actually share with you something even more exciting, and it's actually right below the camera. You can't see right now in the view, so I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see it. And I think this is pretty cool. So let's check it out. This to me looks like either a hydrothermal vent or a spring, okay? Because it's a hole that's tipped down at about 45 degrees going down through the caliche, okay? And the caliche's got this fluted rim that's kind of smooth all the way around, which tells me that something was spewing out of here. Now, if it was spewing out minerals such as gold and everything else, it would be blowing it out and out in this direction here and along the bank that's actually under the camera that I'm digging in. Okay, so this is really cool. Now, when I went to, excavate this, I was digging around and I pulled up a whole bunch of bull quartz here, got lots of this stuff, big stones, and it's big, just chunk of quartz monzonite here. Okay. And, when I got through all that and I got down, I exposed this, this channel or this little tunnel that goes down, and like I say, at 45 degrees. So I don't know how far this thing goes, but what I did do is I ran some of the material through the wash plant, and check out this gold. I mean, we didn't get a lot, but it certainly was chunky enough to make it kind of interesting. So the question is there more further down? So, well, I guess I need a geologic consult for this. So, hey, Jeff Williams, Chris Ralph, or Ellie Knows Rocks, what do you think? Think you might be able to give me a little hand with this? This looks pretty interesting. Of course, I'll probably have to borrow Jeff's jackhammer from his drift mine, get out here and jackhammer all this caliche up and see where this goes. So this should make a kind of interesting video out in the future. So, hey, this is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll run into a few more of these things. So anyway, well, let's go ahead and get the wash plant fired back up. Let's run some material through and see what kind of gold we get today. I've got also going to answer a couple of questions that some of you are concerned about on the wash plant. I also gave you some updates about what's going on, and maybe I'll show you I will show you the little modification I made to the plant to make it easier to pour the dirt in. So it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me show you what I did to the wash plant here. I added these 2 bars on each side. And what this does, it allows the user to actually fill and hold the bucket here, so you got this bucket rest. Now, in previous videos, you probably see me holding the bucket up in the air, dumping it over here and whatnot. But with this bar, this makes it more ergonomically comfortable for the user to actually pour the dirt into the top of the hopper, okay? And you can go to here in the corner like this, or straight across in this way, and you can do it on either side. And it's so simple, and then all you have to do if you don't want to use it is just simply unbolt it, take it off. So, but anyway, it's a really cool addition, and in terms of manufacturing, it's not going to cost that much to add to it. So, and it just makes it easier. So we'll see how this looks in action. Now you can see how easily this bar works. I'm just resting my bucket right here. You can see the material flowing in here. And as soon as it gets down to about here, it's pretty well flattened out throughout the deck. And man, look at these rocks getting washed. Isn't this the coolest? Look at that. Doing really good. So I'm just resting it here, and then when my bucket gets light, yeah, I can just go ahead and dump it over here. See how the vortex is actually washing all these rocks and cleaning them as they're working their way down. Then there's some studs right here that are causing the rocks to bounce around and vibrate. And look at this. Isn't that cool? Nice and clean. Beautiful. I know I have a lot of people waiting in line to get a hold of one of these wash plants. So let me tell you what's kind of going on lately. I've been doing a lot of work to try to get a CAD program so I can get the sheet metal cut and bent and all that, make it all computerized, so that way it can be done by machines to save on labor cost. And that's taking a lot of time. Plus, I'm also working on some other things as well to help smooth the operation down. And I'm also thinking about doing a kit for this machine. So we'll see what happens in that regard. Some of the other things that I'm working on is supply logistics, and that's been kind of a challenge because some of the stuff has to be imported. And I know some of you are probably thinking that why don't I just buy some of the supplies from U.S. manufacturers? Actually, a lot of the stuff is, but there are a few components that, like I say, have to be imported, and we're just going to have to work around those issues. And in fact, the few suppliers that have these products that are in the U.S. actually get them imported themselves. So why should I pay double for it? So I might as well go right to the source. So anyway, we're going to get this all worked out. It may take a little longer than expected, as I thought with my original video it was going to take about a year, but it may take longer because I want this thing, when it goes to market, I want this to be perfect, okay? I want this thing to be a really humdinger of an item that everybody's going to enjoy. It's going to work well, and I want everything to function perfectly for you. See how everything's processing nice and well? Look how clean these rocks are coming off the end here. Looking really good. And everything's flowing down the sluice, catching all the gold, and then down onto the dewatering deck where the water is getting separated from the solids. And out onto our tailings pile there. Pretty good. Now, some of you are concerned that the material coming off the dewatering shaker deck, these little clay balls, are actually not getting processed. In other words, they're not getting broken down by the upper shaker deck, and they're going over the sluice unprocessed. Well, that is not the case. These are dehydrated balls created by this dewatering shaker deck. And as you can see, if I take the stuff and just smear it out, see that? It just comes out as mud. Okay, and that's what we're getting out of here. We're getting rid of the mud out of our water system. So this is just dancing along, being caused by the vibration from these two motors of the dewatering shaker deck. Here's just another angle of the same thing. You see how this material on the pond side of the shaker deck is just smooth as can be, but see how the clay balls are formed as they move on out onto the tailings pile. That's what it looks like. And while I'm here, I might as well just kind of show you some of the other features here. You can see down here, this is the first pond down below with the two sand filters that's coming right off underneath the shaker deck, so it's collecting the sieve. And then it flows over here to the next set of sand filters. They're sitting right here, and that's pulling out more of the suspended particles. And then, of course, we flow into the pump tub, where I've got this pump in here. It's made by Surimi. It's a very expensive, well, not very expensive, about $300 pump, but it puts out about 3,200 gallons per hour, which is far more than what I need for this operation, but it's a super heavy duty pump. And you can see all the plumbing here. I've got check valve, or not check valves, but ball valves right here and here. That way I can control the flow going up to the shaker deck, how much water is going out onto the spray bar, okay? And also how much is actually flowing over here to the sand filter. This is a pressurized sand filter over here that's actually filtering out the really super fine particles, so that way we get decently clean water. Now, granted, the water's brown, and that's just the kind of the dye makeup of the ground itself, but it's very, very lubricious. If I take my hand in here and splash it around, see that? it's not gooey or gummy whatsoever. And that's the beauty behind this machine, is all this filtration. This is key to a successful desert operation. Eventually these tubs will get filled with mud and gunk. So one way to help remove it all is this Yabby pump. Now this Yabby pump is used for dredging out streams and stuff like that. This one's actually for shrimp. But you can buy these online, or you can make your own. It's just a simple 2-inch PVC pipe tubing, and it's got a plunger in here. So we pull it back, like so. So what we do is we can reach right in here where the gooey mud is, and we can just stick it down. Oh, I can feel the mud. And we just go like this and suck it all up. You see that? And then, blah! So now we can come back in here and get another load. Now you do lose a little bit of water doing this, but it also cleans out some of the gunky gunk that's in here. Scoop up some dirt and throw her in. Ah, I love this bar. It just makes it so easy. And like I say, when the bucket gets a little more empty, you throw it over on the other side if you want. Easy as can be. Look at these rocks coming off here getting clean. Look at that dewatering deck working there. Pretty amazing. And just keep feeding this hungry machine. It's certainly hungry. It'll keep you busy. Whee! Yeah, let's hope some gold's in here too. Boy, that thing is running great. Look at all that gooey clay coming off here. All them clay balls. Isn't that something? Woo! There we go. So I can rest it over here in this corner if I want to. Doing good. Look how clean these rocks are. Excellent. Just what you want. Beautiful. Woo! You know, what can I say? This is just an absolute fun machine to operate. You know, it takes a little bit to get it set up, but once you get it going, oh my gosh, this is just unbelievable. Everything just chews through the material, and it's actually quite comfortable here to just keep feeding it. And now you can see the what we call a reverse oscillation on the sluice that causes the special V mat. It causes this gold to oscillate and drop right into the mat and traps it so it can't get loose. And it's really specifically designed for fine gold, but it'll also capture chunky nuggets as well. So this is just absolutely cool. Love it. Woo! All right, so we're going to power down the pump first, then the upper shaker deck, and we'll let some of the water flow down the sluice here and onto the dewater deck. And it looks like we're pretty well done, so we'll go ahead and shut down the dewatering deck. All right, well, let's go ahead and clean this mat off, and let's see if we got any gold. All right, so there's a couple of ways we can actually clean off the mat here. One way is to actually remove the tongue off the trailer. It's only being held on by 4 bolts, so they come right off, so it gets it out of your way. Or what I did is, because of this diversion plate kind of gets in the way, I actually cut a little channel out of this tub so it'll fit right in here like so. All right, so what you do is we're going to go ahead and release the diversion plate. We're going to tip it down so it's kind of pointing down into the tub here, okay, like so. What we'll do is we'll get a couple of 2x4s just to slide underneath it, just to give it a little bit of support so it doesn't wobble around too much. There we go. All right, so now we'll go ahead and release the hasp on each side, and that'll take out the anchor bar that holds down the mat. So it comes off like so. Got the same thing for the other side. In fact, it's just easier if I go around and do it from here. All right, let's pop this off. There we go. Okay, so the mat is free, and now all we have to do is just take it out, like so. Just slides right out, nice and easy. Okay, now we know that most of the gold is trapped in this upper part of the mat, at least the upper third. And basically, if you see my previous videos, there's virtually no gold at all down here in the lower third of this mat, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this mat, we're going to hold it up, we're going to flip it around. Takes a little bit of a trick here. And so that way the mat is facing all the way down into the tub, like so. That way none of the gold escapes, okay? So now you have this open tray here. Now what we'll do is just take some clean water and just kind of wash everything off, and it all flows into this tub. Now obviously the water that we're going to probably put in this tub is going to be a lot less than what we need to, you know, totally shake the mat off. But at least while it's sitting here, you can always finish cleaning out the sluice. You get underneath the little pocket here that holds the edge of the mat into place. Want to clean that out just in case there's any pieces of gold that might be hiding in there. And then we're just going to wash that out. There we go. And see how this diversion plate is just spilling right into the tub here. So that works out really good. All right. So now we'll go ahead and we'll take this off. And we'll set it on the ground over here where it's a little more stable. And we'll just pour some extra water in the tub here. Doesn't matter if it's muddy or not. And we're just going to go ahead and shake it off. Get all these rocks out of here. Kind of hold the mat in a curve. That way the V on the mats will open out. So that way most of the material drops out, especially the gold nuggets. And we just splash it around, really with a minimum amount of water. And you can see here that our mat is relatively clean, except for maybe a couple of, you know, rocks that get wedged in between the V sections there. All right, so let's go ahead and pan this out and see what we get. Okay, folks, we're kind of down here in the black sand concentrates. I just kind of saved you all the details of panning and everything. So let's see if we actually got any gold here. All right, just going to kind of cut it back here a little bit. Now, where I'm working is really noted for its chunky gold pieces. There's not a lot of fines in this area. So let's see if that kind of pans out for us today. And we'll just kind of keep swishing it back and forth. Just kind of see what we get. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm starting to see something now popping up. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look at that, folks. See all the nice little chunky pieces of gold all along here? Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, there's one kind of escaping there. We'll just give it a little tap. Bring it back up. Oh, look at this over here in the corner. Look down here. Look at that. Wow. I thought that was actually two pieces of gold, but it's actually a picker. Look at that. Isn't that something? Pretty cool. I'll bring that up to the camera so you can see that. It's actually pretty coarse, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. Well, this looks like today's take. Let's see if there's anything in this corner up here. I don't think there is. I think we got it all. Yep, that's it. All right, well, there's today's take, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, we didn't do too bad on the gold today. We actually got some nice chunky pieces and one nice little picker and all that. Yeah, I wish I could have got more, but, you know, that's how it goes when you go prospecting. Now, I know there's a few of you who have asked me, hey, Alan, why don't you go out and find a place where you got lots of gold? Well, you know, that's really cool, but, you know, I'm not really so much interested in the gold. I mean, it's a nice little reward at the end of the day, but I'm more interested in the equipment and how it works and how it functions, the process of it all. That is more important. The gold's just like icing on the cake. And, you know, plus this place is closer to home to me too, so it doesn't have to drive several hours to get to it. So it just works out that way. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and punch that like button and also hit the share button to share this video with all your friends and everything. And if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you can get future updates on my videos. So anyway, this is probably my last video that I'll be shooting for 2022. So I want to wish every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and best of luck to you in 2023. And until that time, get out there and find some gold, and we'll see you next year, and thank you for watching.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!